In 1998, we would always come up for a football game every year, usually at homecoming. We lived in Memphis. And sometimes Brandon played for Briarcrest Christian School. If they had a game on Friday night, we'd get through, we'd go back to McDonald's in Memphis and get food and then drive all night and come up here and be ready for the homecoming game the next day. Well, they played UAB that year, and I think Tennessee was number 2 or 3. Well, after Tennessee had won the game, we were sitting in the stands, and Ohio State was playing, and they were behind, and they were number 1. So I remember very clearly that day staying there even after the game, and several hundred people had gathered to hear what was going on, and finally got the word Ohio State lost and Tennessee was number 1. Wow. I graduated in '74, and it had been a long time since Tennessee had been number 1. So we went back home in Memphis, but we had to come back up the next Friday night because Briarcrest played Webb and won the semifinal games for the state championship. So we were here on Friday night. Briarcrest won, but Saturday we had to drive back to Memphis again. I remember going out to the mall and seeing all the people out there in West Town who had come before the game started. After we went to the mall, we went back toward Memphis, and the first half wasn't very good for UT. Arkansas got a big lead, and UT fortunately scored right before the half, but we turned the game off. Brandon and I couldn't listen to it. It was making us too nervous in the drive, and finally we got down near Jackson, Tennessee. It was getting near the end of the game. Tennessee had made a run, and it looked like they were going to come back and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat when all of a sudden on 4th down, the pass went incomplete. All Arkansas had to do was run the clock out. I almost feel like they could have taken a knee, but for some reason, they decided to do a play where the quarterback would roll out just to kill a few more seconds. But one of the UT players had hit a lineman from Arkansas, and it kind of pushed him back, and Clint Sterner tripped. The ball hit the ground, and he fumbled, and Tennessee recovered. I remember we were in a traffic jam at that point. There had been a wreck. And we had turned the radio off after Tennessee had gone 4th and out, and Wanda was making fun, and Brandon and I said, "All you big babies, you need to listen to the game." So we turned it back on, and all of a sudden there had been the fumble. Well, you know the rest of history. Tennessee took the ball down the field, and right there in the closing moments of the game, they snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. I tell you what, it didn't look like there was any way they were going to win that game at one time. Our minister of music had already called my house after Tennessee went 4th and out, and on my answering machine when I got home, he was making fun of me. He said, "Woo, pig suey." And he was talking all that. Well, when I hit the button again, the next one was him again. "Pastor, I'm so sorry." Boy, I gloated over that one, you know. Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.